Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Football Manager 2020 Zero to Hero, the Youth Factory, episode number 6. We've reached the end of our second season, and we have secured our first promotion and our first trophy of any kind by winning the Northern League. So we've done it. We've managed to do it. We did it comfortably, in fact, by 20 points, so 96 points in total. We actually lost the final game of the season. Thornaby, we did have not all of our best guys. The group playing that final game was not the natural first 11. So there was that, but yes, that was not the best way to end the season. We end up with 6 draws on the season, 30 wins out of 38 games played in the league. Looking through the schedule, we only played 2 friendlies. So here's where we began the league. We opened with a 6-2 victory away at West Allotment. That was a massive, massive game and a great start of the season. We had a 5-2 win at home. We had a 5-0 win on the road at Durham. There's another 5-0 win, another 5-0 win on the road at Heaton Stannington. So lots and lots of big victories. There's another 5-0, a 4-0. We had a 6-3 win at home, absolute hammering. First time since the first game of the season that we managed to get 6 goals. But you can see we did have 2 losses late in the season. Just the one, though, in the league since the 14th of November. And that was that final game of the season. That other loss, that was the FA Vase semi-final first leg. The second leg, 0-0. So we did lose out on that one. Briscoe is one of the Tier 9 teams. We got all the way to the semi-final, but we could not get to the final. Outside of that, what an excellent season, especially that second half. Really just the 2 losses all season. I mean, that's incredible. 3 if you include the trophy, and 1 friendly at the start of the year. So what a season it was for the team, and of course they got even stronger down the stretch as we got our new group of U18s, and most of those U18s are playing exactly there. They are playing with the U18 side. In fact, they joined so late into the season, late March, just a month ago. By the time they got all signed and assigned, most of them ended up with fewer than 7 appearances for the U18 side, which even that's a decent amount, but we don't even see them in progress because they've been with the team for less than a month. A lot of them have just 2, 3, 4 starts. Rating-wise, though, even that new group, big step up from where we were. They had been getting blown out. They had 0 wins of any kind in the U18 league this season against mostly Premier League teams. They were getting blown out 6 or 8-0 every match. Instantly better with the new crop of U18s, most of them actually staying there playing in the U18s. U23s has also gotten a little bit bigger. Bryn Gibbons, though, is the only top player. All the rest of them, the other 7 players all listed there, are all part of the original group that started with nothing but 1s for attributes, and you can see development-wise, the huge majority of that group has not developed at all. So these guys will be wiped away, let go before too long. The only older player is Connor Courtney, who was a star, but he is now alienated by not being in the first team side. He only scored 1 goal and had just 1 assist with a 6.35 rating. I really should just let him go. But we don't have anyone to fill the spot, so for now he is kind of stuck and stays put. So sorry. So sorry, Connor. Alright, well, here we go. This is the one that matters. The first team. Only 2 additions from the current U18 crop Ethan Brennan instantly jumps into the side as one of our better players and our player with the most potential, strengthening the squad. Even in just 5 matches, he did end up with a goal and a better than 7 rating. Which could be better, but for the 18-year-old, 17-year-old coming straight in, not bad. The other one is Tom Gregory. Good potential. Not quite there yet, ability-wise, but 58 is enough to kind of fit into the side. A few of the other U18s are certainly good enough to kind of fit into this group, but they don't quite have the potential level, or for whatever reason I decided to kind of let them develop a little bit. So Tom Gregory ended up with 3 starts, 2 appearances off the bench. Not a great rating for him. Barry Ball, not a great rating there either, but he actually ended up with a whole lot of clean sheets throughout the season. And the stats, well, that's what we're going to look at now. So apparently Luke Dyer is now up to a 100 on the current ability. Though looking at him for a center back, he's still slow. He still has terrible vision and flair, but those don't necessarily matter for the position. The marking is good, the heading is good, tackling is still just a 9, which is far from ideal for his position. So he's got some work to do. He is certainly not there yet. Nicky Matthews, our other highest rated player on current ability, continues to develop well. He, on the other hand, is very quick, very aggressive, and he is definitely developing some of his mental attributes well. Technical attributes are all developing, but not ideal. His technique is the only thing that is a 10 or above. His dribbling is a 9. First touch is now an 8. Finishing is still a 7. So he's got a long ways to go as well. Scott Frame, Barry Ball, the only ones with 49 appearances. Everybody else missed a game here or there. John Gray, 2 appearances off the bench, but otherwise 47 for him, so he got a lot in. That's one of our guys, wasn't it? I'm trying to remember if he... No, that's not one of the originals. He was one of the U16s from last year, just the lowest potential one, but he was quite good on his current ability and still good enough to make an impact on the squad. Neil Curry is one of those. He's up to a 22 now. You can see he's still mostly 6s, 7s. It's the mental area of his game that has developed a little bit. So he's kind of still locked in at 6s and 7s. Just about across the board, his marking is an 8. But otherwise, it is the mental attributes that are now coming along. 8s and 9s starting to emerge for him as he gets smarter with his game. Darren White, the other one who has developed pretty well. You see he's really stagnated in that department. It's just 2.5 gray stars, so he's not even considered any yellow stars compared to his counterparts here in the squad. So that original group really not going anywhere. I was kind of surprised that they aren't developing at all. But those U18s coming in, we're seeing a lot of natural development. Coaching staff is a very, very big part of this. They have natural development as youth players. Playing time is giving them that. Those other guys got a certain amount of natural development, but then they have stagnated since. Okay, goals. It's Nicky Matthews with 53 goals this season in 40 appearances. That's not counting the 6 that he scored at that first appearance before he was then swept out from under us and we got him back. It's only counting the goals since he returned. So he actually had 59 goals for the club this season in 41 appearances. Average rating over an 8. What a job by him. And that's with a finishing of 7. But that speed is really a factor in that. He gets so many chances one-on-one and is able to finish a lot of them. His forward on the left flank is Lee Williamson-Toyne, his counterpart. 24 goals for him, 8 assists, so job well done there. The right wing, not quite as good, but Drew Dale's done an okay job. He's a 46 on current ability. It's not great, but he does get set up pretty often. His last 5 games, he's been better than the other two with a 7.38 and still overall 7.2 rating. So he's done his job, and he's done it well. 12 goals, 9 assists. Scott Frame, the left back, leads the team with 21 assists, 10 goals. He's the one who's been sending the long balls that free Nicky Matthews to go one-on-one with the keeper over and over again, and has led to a really, really nice rating for him. John Gray's played well, 7 goals, 5 assists, 7.23 rating. Considering he's only a 41 on current ability, that's nice. Here's the thing, Craig Baines-Cross, the light-hearted 17-year-old, one of those original players, current ability just at a 4. He's been stagnant. He hasn't gone anywhere up or down throughout this season. Yet, in 8 starts and 5 bench appearances, he did manage to get 6 goals and a couple assists and have a +7 rating. Not bad. Not bad. Luke Dyer, 7.5 rating, and he even got 4 goals and 4 assists as a center back. Moffat, alongside him, 2 goals, 7 assists. Then things kind of settle off a little bit. Neil Curry, just under a 7. He's one of the ones we've just upgraded. Ethan Brennan just came in inside. Wilkinson on the right wing back, 7.3 rating, 9 assists for him. Definitely not as good as Frame on the left, but still certainly not a bad rating. So really solid year. Now looking at the competitions, again, we were plus 20 points compared to anybody else in the league, and that really stands out. League goals, it's Matthews with 48. He's 14 clear of Durham's Jack Butler. That's a huge total for all those guys, but you can see just how off the balance is within this league. Average rating, Matthews and Frame, top 2 in the lead. Butler is the 3rd best. Most assists go to Scott Frame, 18 in the league. Player of the match, 15 times Matthews won it. And Barry Ball, 19 shutouts, 7 clear of Pickering, 2nd best. So, really, really good season for the team. Well, with that, we're ready to head into the offseason, move forward to the beginning of our next year, and we move up to Tier 9. And I think we might be in a position to cruise again, but maybe not. Big thing is the reputation and where that is going to take us. We might still be a day or so away from seeing another update, but I do think this has been updated at least somewhat. Reputation is now at 378. We started at 1. That's a long ways, but of course this is out of 10,000, so it's nowhere near maxed out. But it's up to like 3% now, so it's something from nothing to 3%. So we're getting there. Club attendance, I think that'll change soon. Finances are looking really good. We've already got over $1 million in the bank. And this might drop off again, but we'll fix that. That stays at 20s. Everything else, though, interchangeable. We'll see. I definitely think we're heading the right direction. Well, obviously we are. We're moving up, aren't we? But can we make it 2 from 2 next season? I think until we get some better coaching, it's going to be a while before we make players develop a bit more. But how much of a reputation is that going to take to get some decent coaches hired? We'll see in time. Let's go ahead and move forward to the beginning of next season. Best 11 for this year is pretty straightforward, though Brennan, in just 5 matches, actually makes it onto that list. The overall is the one, of course, we want to keep our eye out for. And Frame, Moffat, Dyer, Wilkinson, and Ball make up the tail end of that. Williamson, Toyne, Matthews, and Dale, of course, at the forwards. It's the midfield that's still suspect. White and Curry actually remain in those positions with Gray to join them. So Matthews, obvious choices. But yeah, those 6.5, 6.8 ratings of Curry and White, they're actually enough to be on the list. And John Gray, 47 starts, 7 goals, rating kind of the one player. But so we do still have 2 of the originals remaining in the best 11 after 2 seasons. End of season awards. Nicky Matthews is player of the season, 78% of the vote. No surprise about that. But goal of the season goes to Peter Atkinson, one of the original players, gets the goal of the season. And that was against the... that was in the semifinal for the FA Vase. Signing of the season goes to Nicky Matthews, but that's because Blackburn stole him and we just took him back, and that's going to be an odd one each year as we don't have signings. But young player of the season is Nicky Matthews. Of course, he was player of the season as it was. Let's see, we were in first place most of the season. Average attendance was just 128. We were 8% full. We used 23 players over the course of the season. We'll see how that continues to go. Initial budgets really don't matter. But club vision. Yeah, we're definitely not signing old players. And we're developing young players. And we're going to play attacking high-tempo soccer. So we're looking good on that as we move to the Northern Football League Division 1 from Division 2. Payroll budget. Build a new stadium in the 5-year plan. Oh, I like that. So the money we've got coming in, they already want to build a new stadium. Nice. Okay. And they want us to win the league by the end of next season. So they want to win the league next season. Wow. Okay. So they want a one and done. I think we could compete for that. I do think we could. And they want us to hit the first division somewhere in the next handful. They just want us to stay in that regional first division in the seasons to come. Gotcha. Squad dynamics. Luke Dyer finally moves off the others list to influential players. That's the problem with so many young players making up this squad. Neil Curry, the only one who's highly influential, is the captain, but comes off the bench. So Luke Dyer, captain on the field. Missed out on the end of season injury, but there it is. So season break, yes. Player development, not worried about that right now, but here it is. Board plan to build a new stadium. So the board have announced plans to build a new stadium and are in the process of searching for suitable sites and possible investors. Main reason behind the decision was that President Joe Brown really wanted to relocate the club back to their home city of Carlisle, which makes perfect sense. You might not know this, but the stadium, I couldn't edit the details. I moved the club to Carlisle because I am from the northwestern United States. I don't live in England. But I wanted a team from the northwesternmost city of England. Just random decision, but I went for that because of the association between the northwestern United States and the northwest of England. So I went for the extreme northwest, and that was Carlisle. But the team that I replaced in the Build-A team wasn't originally from there, and the stadium wasn't in Carlisle. So there it is. Cost, roof, start date. None of the plans are done yet, but they want to build a stadium in Carlisle. That's interesting. And with the money we're bringing in, I could see that really working. I'm curious as to how big it'll be, though, as we're still small reputation, but doing well financially. Board have, however, pointed out this will not be a smooth process, as it will be some time before any plans can be finalized and put into action. It really wants to take the club to the next level and considers building a new stadium to be a big step in that direction. By the way, there never was a takeover. The takeover bids, they gave out in the end. They decided to keep the team as the reputation built and decided they wanted to stay with it. Matthews breaks the goal-scoring record. Makes perfect sense. Let's go ahead and take a look at our records as we move forward here. Most points in a season, 96. Fewest was 17. We went from 17 points to 96. We improved by 79 points in just one season. We went from 4 wins to 30. Highest attendance was 201. Average attendance was, it was a year ago, was 22. This year it was more than 100 above that. That hasn't updated yet. Hasn't fully cycled into next season just yet. Yeah, highest average rating hasn't changed either. Alright, well, I said we were headed for the new season. Let's actually make that happen now. About to return from the break, Scott Frame got a call up to the Scotland under-20s team and ends up with the goal of the tournament. And all 3 goals came from Scotland somehow? Okay. No replay available. But, wow, okay. Everybody's trying to sign my team members right now. Everybody. Including Crystal Palace. Leeds. Premier League stays second on the list. La Liga still top of the list. Serie A third on that list, ahead of the Bundesliga and the French First League. In terms of where we stand, well, it's a ways down that list. There's the National League North-South, 139th. We see a number of other leagues kind of jumping in here. Scottish juniors are up that high. There it is, level 10, 244th on the list. Frame going on trial at Wimbledon. That seems to be the one thing that they can always do. They can put them on trial, but they can't sign them because we turn it down every time. That doesn't mean much because there are definitely teams constantly in. I've seen an 18,000 bid for Matthews. You can see we're getting bigger offers for Luke Dyer as well. Ooh, we get a tax bill this year. Okay, 180,000. That's fine. 2 sponsorship deals. That's actually the 3rd one of the off season here. 2-year sponsorship deal. It's a new main jersey. That's essentially the same amount though. Yeah, no real change to those. Same sponsorship money, okay. Not worried about the scouting budget. And it all continues. Now, the big thing is I have 2 staff members that are set to have their contracts expire. I signed them for 1-year deals only. as we move up a division, you can see the coaching level in this 9th tier is much better than what we saw in the 10th tier. And if we're going to compete, we're going to need better coaches. And as we move forward, right, the club should have... Wait, look at that. We've moved up. We should have an improved reputation that will make it possible to actually go out and get some staff members. But before their contracts expire at the end of the month, I have to be able to search for guys out there that, yeah, there you go, realistic appointments. There are realistic appointments now. So, we're only pushing 7s, 8s. Ooh, there's an 11. Rob Work. Well, that could be our next target here. 29-year-old. Available on a free transfer. He's not even got a job right now. So I'll be looking to sign him to replace our current head physio. And I definitely saw and expected that we could get some better coaching than what we had. And I'll look into that. So that's the next phase, and I'll see you in a few days as those contracts expire and see if we are able to sign on some better staff. 1 year ago, we were seen as the least reputable club in all of England, even after the improvement we saw in the reputation over the course of the season. But now, after 2 seasons, you can see we are no longer on the bottom. However, we still have not gone up that high. We've got a long ways to go. We are very, very obscure, but I think we could be well on our way a year from now to really see a significant boost in that reputation. I mean, you can see the scroll bar, we're still way down at the bottom here, just jumping halfway up. And that was a lot of teams that we just covered to get near the top. I think what's more interesting is what is at the top, and there you go. You have 6 clubs with worldwide appeal. So I made a risky move that so far has paid off. Ian Kilford, the assistant coach that we hired, the one who's absolutely garbage, in order to sign a new assistant coach, it was hard when you already have an assistant coach to hire one. Nobody comes into it expecting that position. Now that his contract's expired, hopefully I can have an easier time finding that. But also, if you don't have an assistant coach, it's really hard to find reasonable ones because they don't show up on a list as reasonable. You need the assistant coach to help you identify reasonable hires. A little bit of a slippery slope. He's staying on in a month-to-month basis. That hopefully could be the trick to where I can now go find somebody that I haven't been able to do so far. We have let Laird go, the head physio, to find a better one. The tricky thing is our budget. Our budget's very low. So finding a coach that's willing to accept what we can afford to pay, thanks to the board's handcuffing my hiring. If we can get past that, then we'll be okay. Some of the original players that were on youth contracts that were down in the U18s, I've allowed their contracts to expire so that they can leave the team. Actually, they're on month to month. Or if I guess I'll leave them on month to month. It looks like each of these guys are in that situation now. And until I have replacements, I'll keep them around, as I don't have replacements right now. But the big thing I'm going to do here at the end of June here, as the players are just coming back, is I would love to get in here and get a new assistant coach, a new head physio, better, improved, and then maybe even start getting into, an additional coach, like a fitness coach or something. Staff search. Right now, I'm set up for assistant coaches that are hireable And it's actually quite the list. I mean, it's a big list now. Team guys that are willing to work for us. Now you can see a lot of them are really poor, especially as we get down here and low end to the man management. I'd like to find somebody with decent man management and working with youth, since my entire roster just about is youth. But I tried a number of these guys already, about 20 of them, just a few days ago on the calendar. None of them were willing to accept the amount. Things might be slightly different now, and I'll try to find one that I haven't made a move on yet. Let's see, maybe, did I try Robert Brown? I might have. I did. That's going to be the tricky thing here in the next little bit, is getting one. I think I already tried Craig Todd too. Ooh, maybe not. But look, he wants 300. It does now come up as assistant coach, so at least I can go straight into that. And then they're not coming in thinking that they're applying for the U18's job, and then to be surprised and then go, oh, I want more money, when they're willing to take a small amount. Okay, he wants the U18s. Assistant coach, but there's our problem. Max salary is just $60 a week for us. And then you change the role to assistant coach and they want more money. Maybe I need to interact. There you go, assistant coach salaries. Should look to increase the maximum salary that we can offer an assistant coach to allow us to attract the best possible candidates. And they said no. How about coach salaries? We could do with something of an overhaul. Club spending levels on staff are already high. They're non-existent. You stubborn old hag. That's my problem. That is my problem. How do I find somebody? Small amount could maybe accept something, but change that role and suddenly they want more. He's not that bad, but he won't come down much. He's not going to come down to 60. Let's see, he might come down to 90, but he's not coming down to 60. And so the struggle goes on. Now, going back, Ian Kelford, just how bad is he? Man management's a 6. He's got some 5s. He's got a 7 working with the youngsters. We might have to go one more year with this guy until we can change budget. He is on a week-to-week, month-to-month contract right now. I might just have to do. And then I'll look for an additional coach. I did let my head physio go, so I'll have to find a new one there. Let's see if we can find that real quick. Ooh, up to some 10s now. Again, this is going to come down to what can we afford. He wants much too much. Okay, he's not coming. This is still going to be a big improvement from the guy we had. He's not going to budge. Not that far. Nope. He's not even budging at all. Well, here's the only 9. We'll give him a shot. So this is definitely the tricky thing at this point in time, is finding somebody we can afford for the coaching staff. Ooh, hello, we're close. Come on. Work with me. Come on. Budge. You can do it. Oh, so close. So close. Maybe we can get an 8. That's definitely a step in the right direction. Nope. He wants too much. Well, I think at some point one of these guys will sign. We're pretty close on the physio. It's the assistant coach that we're kind of stuck on. If he wants 90 for the U18s, he's going to want a lot. Yeah, 110. Should be able to put the question of who can we afford into your search list, otherwise this just takes forever. Alright, well, I'll be working on this off camera. This could take a while. Some good news. We did relatively well finding a new head physio and a new fitness coach. So George Serino, just an 8 on physiotherapy, but it's definitely an upgrade from where we were, which was about a 3 or a 4. And then Mike Edwards, fitness coach, 8 on the fitness, but the determination, discipline, motivating are all pretty high, and he's good at working with youngsters. So far from a good coach, less awful than what we've had previously. And this is going to make a significant difference, as we've had no presence when it came to our role as fitness coaches. You can see we're kind of just about up to 1 star across the board now. And Kilford has made some improvements through his recent coaching course upgrade that he did. So he's at 2 stars now for technical. Workload's light throughout, but you can see our new coach is going to be coming in here. So I will be changing this out. No, I'm going to have to wait 1 day. But we'll add him in as a fitness coach. That'll remove me from that, and that could and should be a boost somewhere, somehow. Not quite. Not there yet. Not good enough for that yet. You can see that I am up to some 5s now. And a 6 on motivating, 5 on man management. So things are coming along. They're just not good yet. Kind of the downside for me, I guess, is that the one area that I am... No, I'm not getting good there. Never mind. I'm not good anywhere yet. It's going to be a while. It's his determination. That's what's helping him with the technical attribute. He'd be 2 there too, but it would cut them both to 1.5. Well, anyway, we're finally going to have another coach. It'll make a difference. I'll add that in tomorrow. That's going to do it for this episode, though. We are going to begin the season at the start of the next episode. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button to keep this series on the move, on the go, and rising. Have a great day. Bye for now.